everyone, welcome back to my channel, and today I'll be sharing 50 more random facts about me. And I've done one a while ago, but I thought it was time for an update, so let's get started. We'll start with the basics. 1, my name is Joan, not Joanne. I was born and raised in Los Angeles, California. I get questions about this all the time. And after high school, I moved to the Bay Area for college for 4 years. And then I moved to Korea and I've been there for over 3 years now. Even though I lived in Southern California for a majority of my life, I still feel more familiar with San Francisco and Seoul, which feels very weird because, you know, this is where I was born, and I'm so used to the SoCal sunshine. But yeah, that's just how I feel, and I felt it even more this trip. I am a morning and night person, so I sleep late and wake up early. And sorry for the lighting, it's just really weird right now. I can't take naps unless I am getting my skincare treatment. I stay fit by drinking lots of water and walking. This year I've traveled to 9 countries so far. So US, Korea, UK, France, Germany, Czech, Japan, Hong Kong, and Malaysia. And next, I might be going to Singapore. I can never skip breakfast, and this is something that my mom trained both me and my brother's bodies while growing up, so we both can never skip out on breakfast. I am not the biggest fan of sweet drinks. I only drink water, tea, coffee, wine, makgeolli, and some sweet cocktails. And yes, juice is not on the list because I'd rather eat the fruit than drink it. I prefer fruits over vegetables. Going back to the drinks, I'm also not a fan of drinking boba, and there are 2 reasons. One is because I used to drink it all the time in high school and I got sick of it, and 2 is now when I look at all the bobas, I just immediately think of trypophobia. So I just like to treat myself to it once in a while, but most cases I never crave boba anymore. A lot of you guys know this, but I love marble, but I only like it for tables, floors, and some kitchenware. So many of you guys tagged me on the marble lip trend and nails, but that's too much for me. So yeah, just tables, kitchenware, and floors. I'm not very good at taking selfies, or actually I'm not good at taking photos in general, so every time my friends take photos for me, they're like, look down. I always have a hard time answering what my favorite movie is, but I do love old films, so the black and white and even silent films, I love watching them because you just appreciate the music and the facial expressions and just how movies were like back then. And I love Charlie Chaplin. I've watched almost all of his movies, and I also really like Disney and Marvel. I have 2 matching moles by my collarbones. It's kind of cool, I think. And I have another mole right here. Well, I actually have a lot of moles, but these 2 and this one right here are the most noticeable ones. And I have one on my lip, and I found out that if you have a mole on your lip, it means you're a foodie, so I'll take it. If you didn't know, I started vlogging every single day for my second channel, Joan Day, ever since my birthday last year. So every day of my 25th year has been documented and shared on YouTube. I'm turning 26 very soon, and in Korea I'm 27, and ever since moving to Korea I'm so confused at my age, so I just tell everyone what year I was born in, and that's why I usually say I'm 91. So I was born in 1991. I became a little more spontaneous ever since I started Joan Day, because before vlogging every day I was always about planning and knowing what I'm gonna do for the next month or so, but now I'm just trying to get through the next 3 days and maybe even the week, and then I'll decide what I'm gonna do next week. My Myers-Briggs changed. I used to be an ENFJ. I was an ENFJ since high school, and this year I retook the test and I am now an ESFJ. I like to have 1 page of apps on my phone. Unread notifications stress me out. I have a Foodstagram, Joan Food. Joeun translates to good, so good food, and Joan Day also means good day. But I wanted to start the Foodstagram because I finally have a place to share all of my rejected food photos, because my Instagram at Joan Kim, I'm very picky about what goes on there. So Joan Food is where I upload more frequently now, and I'm hoping that I'll get invited to some like food events because I love to eat. Twitter might be one of my favorite social media platforms because it's so simple and it's just 140 characters. Like, you don't have to work on editing the photos and whatnot, so I love Twitter. I also tweet about K-pop a lot because I need to let it out somewhere. I've been listening to K-pop since 2002, ever since the World Cup 2002 when Boa's #1 came out, and I was obsessed with her. Blackpink is currently my favorite girl group, and I've been inspired by their fashion and makeup styles, and I'll be doing a video on that when I'm back in Korea. But yes, Blackpink. Big Bang is my ultimate bias in K-pop. I feel like I say this in almost all my videos, but why not say it again? It's kind of sad though because I have never been to a concert where all 5 of them performed, but I've seen GD perform and Taeyang perform as well, and it was pretty life-changing. I recently changed my hair color to red. It's my favorite color, and I thought it was perfect for the fall. If you haven't watched my hair vlog, you can click up there, or I will link it down below in the description box so that it'll be easy for you guys to find. I also cut it short, and it kind of reminds me of my Innisfree Empties video. I can't believe that was almost 2 years ago. I also got lash extensions for the very first time, and it's been super convenient, and I think I'm addicted. So when I go back to Korea, I'll make sure to look for a lash extension shop, and I'll compare the two from America and Korea. The final 4 facts are going to be frequently asked questions, and the first is I have 5 piercings, 3 on my left ear and 2 on my right, but I only wear 1 stud here. I'm very sensitive, so I can't wear just any earrings. They have to be real or safe and allergy-free. I'm 5'4". I said 5'3" in my previous video, but I was thinking 163 centimeters, so I said 163, 5'3", but I'm 5'4" and 163 centimeters. I use Canon cameras to film all my videos, sometimes my iPhone, but majority of the time it's all Canon, and I always link camera information along with all the products I mentioned, including the lip color, in the description box, so always give it a read because I do spend a lot of time writing that. The final fact is I use Final Cut Pro X to edit all of my videos. I get questions about this all the time. I taught myself how to edit because at UC Berkeley, if you're a film major, you learn more of the history and theory of film. There might be some classes you can take to learn how to edit, but while I was in school we didn't have that. But I basically taught myself back in college because I did not want to write a 8 to 10 page essay. I'd rather make a film, and I enjoy projects more than like sitting down and writing. So that's how I learned how to edit. I watched a ton of YouTube videos and I read some guides, and that's why I'm able to edit videos. I feel like you guys already knew majority of the answers, but for those of you guys who didn't, those were some random facts. Alright, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!